Hello friends, welcome back to Player's Companion. As always, I am Dustin.
I'm Haley.
And this week we are here to open up some exciting new minis produced by Wizkids for Wizards of the Coast, Dungeons and Dragons, Icons of the Realm, Spelljammer. So this set is, of course, the companion miniature set for August's release of the Spelljammer Adventure Slipcase Edition. And we've got lots of new miniatures in here to go with that collection with the stories presented therein. We haven't seen any of these in person yet, but did get our hands on a brick. That's 8 boosters. So we have 32 new figures. So we're going to crack open one of these and kind of talk about what we pull and just give a look at a sampling of the set. You'll see probably, I don't know, about a third of the figures in the overall set.
To see some space dragons.
Okay, anything that you think you're looking forward to? Space dragons?
Space dragons, giant hamster.
Giant hamster would be neat.
Some sort of astral elf, because that's the race I'm most excited to play. Are plasmoids in it? Because they would be fun.
Plasmoids are in here.
This is just a fun setting.
Let's see what's up.
They've got a big bug man.
Umber Hulk. We have had Umber Hulks in the past. This is a nice new updated sculpt. Pretty basic. I was wondering if they might put a clown face on it when Haley first pulled this out to match the Legends of the Multiverse storyline that was being played on the Dungeons and Dragons YouTube channel. But no, he's a pretty basic Umber Hulk, but a nice figure.
Looks like walking flesh. An astral blight. Okay. I don't know what makes it different from a normal blight.
He's made of astral. Definitely you can tell from the body related to the vine blight and needle blight that you get in the main book. This one features kind of an interesting, more human face. It doesn't look quite as Swamp Thing-ish, but the rest of his body is still twisted and vine-like. Really interesting little guy.
Ooh, a tiefling of some sort. Captain Fell. Looks roguish. I assume it's a named character from the adventure somewhere. And Space Chewbacca. Oh, that's of course. Get that away from me. And the bane of my existence is the Hadozi. This is just a Hadozi fighter. I will say the piece does look good, but I don't like that monkey people exist. I'm afraid of apes and primates, so they're not my choice. I will never play one, you can guarantee that.
The Surin Rogue is kind of a dinosaur saurian race. These are all NPC characters. They didn't do PC version of them, but they do have different class templates for this race, so you'll see a few different versions of this potentially in the minis. We got a plasmoid. I was really hoping they pull one of those. I'll definitely run one of those in the future.
I really love the detail that they still managed to make a clear blobby person have detail and personality with like the paint around it and everything.
Here's one of our GIF characters here. This one, there's a few of them in the set. This one's Commodore Crux with a couple of flintlock pistols. There's a rifle.
Like those
man of the set as well.
They kind of look like safari hunters, I guess, is kind of what they're like Jungle Cruise era kind of explorer adventurers. Got a cute hat. I like the color scheme of his clothes.
Here we have a Ne Thalgu.
That's actually kind of cute.
If you think chthonic
I like his big eyes.
Monsters.
I don't know. It's kind of cute.
There's just something baleful and sad about this one that just makes him stand out.
It looks kawaii. Look at those big eyes.
Yeah,
looks like he wants to be your friend.
And those rupturous sores on his back, too. He's adorable. The Ne Thalgu, a chthonic kind of spider crab hybrid monster with a very dangerous toothy sphinctery mouth and 4 big red eyes. Haley thinks he's cute.
He is.
Haley discovered afterwards that the bubbles on his back are actually full of human brains that it intends to devour later. And I think he got less cute in the process.
He did get less cute, yes. Oh my gosh, it's another big bug. This one's kind of cute too. It's a gauge. It's like a big walnut.
For those of you who don't know, apparently space is rife with insectoid life.
No.
But that's okay because Haley thinks they're cute.
I just want to be friends with all of them.
Yeah, you've been playing too much.
I'll have to play an
Pokemon.
entomologist.
That'd be something. These guys are semi-intelligent and are known for hiding in sand and doing psychic assaults on people trying to read their thoughts before popping out and then eating them with their mandibles. A very imposing looking, very large figure.
Oh, what is this? Dobor and Space Swine. What is this race? The that?
Yeah, the Doars.
Oh, that's the race. Okay.
Yeah.
So it's a Doar, like a blue badger thing on a flying hog.
He's a penguin, actually.
It was a penguin. Wow. Yeah. Okay. This is incredible. Apparently, they used to possibly be playable, but unfortunately, they are not in this book. And I'm very upset because this is one of the most epic minis I've ever seen in my life.
Here we have Grimzod Garganhale, who is a named character from the Spelljammer pre-written adventure. This guy is a vampirate, undead sailor of the stars. In this case, you can see great little detail on him is that his hand has been severed, but has been reanimated and is perched on his shoulder.
Wow. I got some really good stuff in this box. Now we have a murder comet. There's just a silver flying green goblin head. I'm so excited to play Spelljammer. There's so much weird stuff. So murder comets are created by evil spellcasters by combining earth and fire elementals. They can travel in posses. Oh.
Hey! This is you at Christmas, isn't it? You're just like, no, me again.
Oh, there's a video.
More me.
There's a video of me going, everybody look at me, I'm opening up my present. That's my bug.
No.
Oh.
First we have a standalone Doar.
He's purple.
There's actually a little promo pack that some stores got also with a teal and a yellow one.
So this is our first Astral Elf, which is very exciting. They look very Shakespearean, kind of, little collars. And I didn't realize that they have these weird helmets. Is that a racial thing?
It's part of their uniform. One more insectoid threat to the universe, the Nyogi Master. These spider-like creatures are extremely intelligent and ferocious and have a penchant for breeding their little spider-like eggs in other travelers that they have had the pleasure of capturing. And then the big guy, the classic Beholder. This particular sculpt features a more defined and muscular mandible and jaw, more humanoid face ready to chomp down and show its true rage to any party of explorers that might come across it. Here we have the Eyemonger, who can pull double duty as a figure, as one side looks like a plain asteroid like you'd come across anywhere in space. But don't be fooled, as the other side of him has an ever-watching eye and a hungry mouth ready to chomp down on any unsuspecting ships that may come by. You can't trust anything to be as it seems in space.
And then we have a little Chewinga with a space guppy. Not a dragon, but just as cute, if not cuter, because some dragons are not cute.
Between this and the space swine already, you have two different mounted figures already. One thing you'll note in Spelljammer that's pretty common is because of the lack of need to breathe out once you get into the astral sea, a lot of people just ride flying mounts through that space.
So we have a generic 3-creen, but he looks really, really good. 3-creen in Spelljammer are also playable characters, and they're possibly the best.
I also like this guy has battle damage. You know, one of his 4 arms when cut off and he has it bandaged off.
Commodore Crux, our first duplicate though.
The rather gross looking Jammer Leech is not as much of a threat to players as it is their Spelljammer ship. These little buggers attach themselves to the hull of your ship and will leech out its magical energies. Also on the gross, he's got a gross pack here. Ugh. The frightening looking Fear is a emotional parasite that feeds on strong emotions. Their namesake comes because they have a tendency to leech onto people who are sleeping and absorb their nightmares for sustenance. Now here's a little more normal looking. Okay.
Topola is a named character from the adventure. She's a chaotic good mage who hangs out with otter gnomes, and as you can see on her figure, enjoys birds quite a bit. So the Mercane are 12 feet tall, which actually seems about right. I feel like that's 2.5 squares long, sideways. They use psionics and telepathy, and as the name suggests, they are merchants.
Ooh, very cool. The Illithrid are the ancient nobles of their kind and are some of the most powerful and feared warlords and commanders of the Astral Sea.
Oh, I thought it was a mind flare, so that explains why it's bigger.
They are, yeah, but they're elders, so they have eaten the most intellects and have the most knowledge, and
they're the best.
Yes, and they will definitely continue to eat your brain given the opportunity.
Oh, someone with a bubble. So the Rhaegar are androgynous humanoids who evolved from octopi, and they have bioluminescent dots that allow them to camouflage like an octopus. And they live for art and war and don't even trust each other.
All right, one last pack. We have an Astral Elf Aristocrat, another generic figure, but this time not wearing the customized helmets of the Astral Elf. There are actually a lot of Astral Elves in this set too. They feature very prominently in the adventure, so you get quite a few named ones and a few generic to fill out your ranks. We have a generic Auto Gnome.
Autognomes are also a race that's playable new to Spelljammer. They're just like little robot people. I don't know why they're specifically gnomes, because they're not gnomes.
Because if they were bigger, they'd be warforged.
So they're just small. They're just small robots, and we're just gonna go with that.
And a different Hadozi. This one's a named one. This is Mr. Flinch. Not a ton of Hadozi in here in this set, despite how popular they are, but there's a lot of creatures to have to represent in one small set. Still another good Hadozi figure to use for any of your PCs or NPCs.
And this is a void scaver, so there's a couple different types of scavers, and they're basically just space sharks that eat anything that they come across. The void scaver is the largest, coming in at about 20 feet long. And they actually did it. They made sharks with friggin' lasers on their friggin' heads. Their eyes project fear lasers, which doesn't sound good.
All right, so that is the contents of one brick of the Spelljammer Icons of the Realms miniature set. I think it's a pretty good variety overall. You always be kind of concerned as to what you're going to get. Is it playable? Can you use them for your adventures? I think there's some good points in here. We got some pretty good looking large figures.
I feel like there's a lot of stuff that looks like you would actually like fight, because I think that's where the concern comes from, is if it's like an NPC, you're probably just gonna talk to them, but like there's a lot of scary bug monsters and things that you're probably definitely gonna have to fight.
An important thing is if you're just someone who's gonna get like one brick and see where you can go, is what your players are going to want to use represented in here. And I think it's pretty fair that we have managed to get in one brick a representation of all of the new playable character races.
Yeah.
So that you have enough figures here to be able to represent what your players are going to want to use around the table. I always think that a brick is a good way to kind of start, get a couple of those rare pieces that might be kind of tough to get otherwise, and then hit the singles market and start filling out those army builders. What do you think of how the figures look in this? What do their sculpts and paints look like?
Some of them look really good. Like, I'm surprised how much, like, this one's simple, but I think just the paint is really good, and it's like a nice solid piece too. Like, nothing's gonna happen to that one.
Right.
I don't know, I like some of the details on some of them, like the plasmoid. Like I said, I really like the paint on it.
Well, I think that's, it's worth pointing out, like, not every one of the pre-painted miniature sets are equal. Yeah. Sometimes they put a great deal of detail and paint application details into them, and sometimes they don't. I think this is one of the better looking sets. This one, like you pointed out,
I like the detail of the screen. Like they had a nice like matte paint on it, which is nice. You don't see that very often in these. But then like you get some like this tiefling that I don't think is super impressive. Like there's like no shading on it, so it's kind of a mix with the set, but there's a lot of nice ones for sure.
Overall, I think it's a pretty good set. I'm pretty happy with what we pulled. Again, it's not going to be for every game table, as I know that not everyone's planning to run Spelljammer, but if you are, it provides a lot of tools. And if you just want to get some new PC character races represented in your collections, your players can use them even in a normal game.
Also, if you just want some silly pieces, this is the set to go to.
That's true. There is much more of a tongue-in-cheek sense of humor in this campaign.
Somewhere out there's a giant hamster.
Yeah, we didn't pull him. That's the one to get, really. Thanks for joining us as we got a little peek at these figures here. If you have any questions or comments about the set, let us know down in the comment space below. We like to interact with you as well, so always appreciate that. So until next time, thanks for joining us and take care.